All right, greetings everyone. Lordrin, what's going on, man? Appreciate you signing up with me over on Twitch, dude. What's up, North Star? Yeah, I'm just back for today to stream Shadow of the Road. I actually, as you all can see, I'm trying to redecorate some stuff, change stuff around in my room. And unfortunately, at the exact same time, we were trying to redo things in my daughter's room. All of this is taking way longer than I thought it would. And between that and me being on call, a couple of other things, I was like, you know what? I just don't have bandwidth to stream right now. In fact, I took the day off today so that I could have some time and just be able to relax and get some things done. And so hopefully by this weekend, I'll be in a position to get back to a regular streaming schedule and then go hard on a couple of things. You've been loving Shadows. I haven't gotten to play Shadows at all, but I see it's been doing much better. I would love the game. You start off as Yasuke, and you're with two Christian priests, and they call you slave, give it off Hughes Templar vibes. Tells her to go away so only talk to you. Then he allows the priest to walk his land. Yo, that's crazy. I might have to go ahead and give Shadows a try because I know a lot of people have spoken positively about it, and I would like to experience it for myself. And I saw that it's either got either the most popular launch or the second best launch that Ubisoft has ever had for a game. So it seems to really, really be exceeding a lot of people's expectations as far as how much folks are willing to buy and support the game. What's up, Lennon? How are you, man? So today I plan to play Shadow of the Road. Of course, you all have probably seen the trailers, and I did an impressive video on this a few days ago. I'm really, really excited about it. I definitely see why this is a game Owlcat wanted to publish, and I released a playthrough vid today. But I know some people prefer to consume that kind of content through, a Let's Play on YouTube, and other people prefer to watch it live. So I figured, we might as well just go live as well and let you all see it that way. So give me just a second. I'll share my screen. And actually, how did I? Yeah, see. I got a new camera arm that I'm gonna use so I can get a totally different angle, and that's gonna help me a lot as well. Let's see, share my screen. There we go. And then Shadow of the Road. There we are. And then pull my chats back up. There we go. And let's do it. Woke up from my post-breakfast nap an hour ago. Nice little. What was for breakfast? You're playing the alpha yourself, Lordrin. How do you like it so far? With all the mystery surrounding Yasuke and in real life history, one constant is Oda without any gave Yasuke a good life. I agree. That's one thing that is in all history of Yasuke. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. And they're both such fascinating figures that I think it'll be really interesting to play through a game that showcases more of them. The more samurai content we get, the better. I honestly haven't gotten the opportunity to play many games that specifically center on samurai. Sometime this year, I plan to get through Ghost of Tsushima so I can be prepared for the sequel coming out. All right, so Shadow of the Road, hopefully coming out later this year. Not clear yet, but they have released this alpha. It's only a couple of hours. It's not going to be crazy long, but it definitely gives you an indication of what they're going for, and I think it looks super cool. And I think a lot of folks who are into Owlcat games are going to be really, really excited and interested in what they're doing here. What's up, EH? How are you, man? Yeah, I agree, man. I think it looks super cool and they're doing a great job. This is not the Nippon you know. Shadow of the Road takes place at the fall of the Edo period. It is a time of great change, not just for Nippon, but for the entire world. While some of these changes occurred in reality, many others are unique to our story. While great care has been taken to research and explore these areas with sensitivity, characters, locations, and events do not reflect their real life counterparts. This is a work of fiction. As for how and why these deviations from history have occurred, that is for you to discover. Welcome to Shadow of the Road. Ninja, what's up, man? Check Tater Grill on Steam. Seems to be a better Val. Ninja, I got 2 videos out on Tater Grill already. I got one video out that's my impressions of the .9 patch, and then I actually released another video. It's like an hour and a half video where I go over all of the skill trees. Yep, I'm already on it. I'm definitely going to play it when it comes out. Definitely, definitely, definitely. Now, is you feel different. You are much bigger than most characters. Yeah, I heard that they did a great job of differentiating Yasuke from everybody else. Lou, what's going on, man? What's up, Dapper? Blizzard, how are you? Jovi, what's going on? Good to see you all. Hope you all are doing well. Yeah, Ninja, definitely check it out. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited. Seems like it's similar to Wasteland 3 and gameplay. You're talking about this game? I don't know if I would necessarily say that, because the stuff you could do as far as manipulating the timeline, I feel like that's different from what I was able to do in Wasteland 3. But it's been a couple of years since I played Wasteland 3, so you might be right. Hey, just to let you know up front, there is some voice acting, but the majority of it is in Japanese. The developer is not sure yet, another angle, isn't sure yet whether or not the game is going to be fully voice acted, and if so, will it be fully voice acted in both Japanese and English? That's stuff that they're all still working out. So there's nothing I could have done to like change that for you all. And honestly, when I play this game, if Japanese voice acting is available, that's the way I'm going to play it. I wouldn't play it with English voice acting anyway. The Battle of Tomofushima, Nippon, 1868. Civil war erupts between shogun and emperor, between divine traditions and ruthless progress.
哀れな思想にとらわれた2つの勢力が戦う。我らが将軍様の神聖なる伝統、異国の技術に見られた帝の軍にはかなわない。あまたの侍が虐殺される。その中には将軍の忠実な部下、持ち継ぐ師範もいた。彼が残したのは2人の愛弟子。戦に敗れ、恥辱にまみれ、落ち延びる。父のような師匠を失い、傷つき追われる彼らはもはや侍ではない。名誉、未来も失った。ただの浪人だ。時代がこの国を塗り替える。それは新たな幕開けか、それとも滅びの炎か。
So from what I've witnessed in the alpha, the Japanese voice acting is actually really strong. So it made me decide even more. Definitely, that would be the way to go for me. Oh, Blizzard, I'm glad to hear your dog's doing better, dude. Yeah, Dapper, that's exactly what I would do. You're like Japanese language and English text, Jovi. That's exactly what I plan to do. Yeah, Blizzard, I think it looks great. I can't comment, Raven. I haven't played Shadows yet. Yep, true. It's being made by another Angle Games. You know, like that progress over time. You see characters age. For example, Yasuke starts off clean shaven. Then you play him a few months later. He has his beard growing in. Oh, really? Where you build your own hideout. Okay, I'm going to have to check Shadows out. I definitely plan to. All good, Star. Let's say I actually kind of improved Japanese voice acting. Yeah, like I said, I think it's really good. All right, Yasumi Ryoken. A few days later, Satoru and Akira arrive at a well-traveled Ryoken and half-day's march from Edo. A few surviving stragglers from the Shogun's army occupy the booths around them. Wayless and grieving their fallen master, the Roland consider their next move. I probably play Shadows on my
望月
own
師範は狡猾で容赦ないお方だったね。俺たちは一体何を考えてたんだ？
because I want to be careful about my channel straying too far away from playing CRPGs. I feel like I played Avowed. I plan to probably play Tainted Grail. I don't want to get to the point where people are like, all right, well, what does this channel actually do? You know, so I want to, in fact, the next major content I plan to work on is going to be about Rogue Trader. So I want to make it clear, like, no, I'm still centered in CRPGs. There's just a couple other games that I'm interested in that I'm also playing. What's up, Boss Page? Is it a new studio? I think so. Or at the very least, I think this is their first full game. And that Japanese voice up. What's up, Trupnik? Yeah, dude, I think they did a great job. Great job. What's up, Asamar? How are you, dude?
蔵に忍び込んであの自慢の酒を飲むなんて。
So similar to what you've seen in Rogue Trader, and I think Rather Righteous, they have some words highlighted where you can look at the descriptions if you're curious about them. So I'm going to mouse over them, but I'm not really going to read through all of them. I do have a Let's Play video of this up on the channel. So if you want a slower version where I actually read through everything, you can definitely check out that. Satoru listens to the memory of a happier time in silence, a morose expression on his face.
そして戻った時には足元がふらついて酒臭い。俺た
持ちすぐさまだったけどバレたのは俺のせいじゃなかった
So the voice acting kind of goes in and out. On some dialogue options there is voice acting, on others there is not. Oh yes, it was all my fault. You see my skin, Satori? Tell me, how could I hide the blush of sake? 2 decades later, and his words still ring so clear. It is time to spar. A samurai is always prepared. Tell me, Satori, what happened next? I do not recall. Akira raises an eyebrow. Is that so? You do not recall our battle of the ages, 2 students faced against their master. Akira erupts into laughter. I'll never forget the shinai trembling in your hands and the concentration on your face, desperately holding on to the contents of your stomach. That is not how I remember it. He beat us until we could no longer stand. Was it a lesson or a punishment? Satoru remembers his master's words. A wound given in training is a wound taken from the battlefield. At the word battlefield, Satoru's expression falls. He gazes into his Sakazuki. Satoru, you do not mourn him alone. Every strike of his blade, every lesson that he imparted, it is thanks to Master Motsusugo that we drink and remember. It was our duty to protect him. We failed. There was no way to save him, but you, Satoru, you I could save. I do not regret that. Our lives have not been saved, Akira. We traded them for our honor. All right, so there's a system in this game where each character is facing their own moral dilemma. And as you go through the game, based on the responses you choose when you're in control of them, you'll decide which way they lean. So there is no main character in this game. Each character is kind of in their own way a main character in the story, or rather each party member is a main character in the story. So during conversations, you will take control of different people and you have the opportunity to choose their specific dialogue. In the case of Satoru, he's trying to decide if is he a samurai warrior who is focused on tradition, on honor, on the old ways and upholding that, or is he a ronin, which means a warrior with no master who no longer really believes in honor and kind of more so just does what he wants. So it's not the choice between good and evil. It's just his own personal struggle to figure out what kind of person am I. So in this particular case, you could say honor can be restored, our lives cannot. I would not rest until yours is reclaimed. So that would lean you more towards samurai. Or you could say then we shall act as onryu, literally vengeful spirit. We will not rest until we bring death to those that wronged our master, right? Oh, I'm sorry. Actually, I think the first one is Ronin, and this is the one actually, I don't remember which one goes with which. But yeah, I know one of them will lean you. Yeah, Jedi, great Jedi. Kind of feels that way. I think Yeah, we'll go with this one because I'm pretty sure actually this is the samurai one. This is Ronin, I believe. All right, so what this also did is push how you connect with different party members. So as different characters interact with each other, they can grow a closer connection, and this will unlock mechanics that they can do when they're close by each other. I don't think you can see those mechanics actually in the game, but it's going to be in the alpha rather, but it's going to be a part of the main game. So I've seen options where people go closer. I haven't seen any options that push people further away though. So, but they did say some of the party members are going to have strong disagreements, and they will not be aligned with similar factions. And so I'm not sure whether or not it's still going to be possible to get those people to align with each other, or if that's going to make it nearly impossible, and some people are just going to fight each other no matter what. Wonder if it'd be something like Arcanum. What do you mean? How does Arcanum work? Has multiple. Oh, AC Shadows multiple language. Can you play AC Shadows in Japanese? Oh, you'll hear Japanese and Portuguese. Ooh, that's interesting. So Toro's armor changed. I'm not sure if the way characters look or their armor can be changed. I'm going to go off on a limb and say no based on the inventory screen that I see, but maybe he will. What's up, Johnny? And I don't want to have anything spoiled. Yep, no problem, Johnny. I appreciate you, dude. All right, honor can be restored. Our lives cannot. I will not rest until yours is reclaimed. Oh, right. Arcanum was magic and guns, and one would not work well with the other. Oh, yeah. So that definitely seems to be the way this is going to work, because basically you're positioned in Japan, and there's the West coming in and bringing guns and outside traditions and all that kind of stuff, and you're basically fighting back against it. You do not have a party member who represents that outside perspective in the alpha. However, I attended a presentation for this game, and another Angle dev did say that there are more party members in the game than what's represented here. They confirmed one more, but they said there might potentially be even more than that. A title that goes deeper into interpersonal relations, nice thing, especially when there's a mechanic reflecting that. Akira smiles wistfully. I will restore it by repaying the debt of kindness you once gave to a broken boy. I see no boy before me, only a true warrior of Kamido. And here we go. Search every corner. They're somewhere.
Shogunの野良犬め、主が倒れた途端に尻尾を巻いて逃げよって。出てこぬか腰抜け浪人。
No matter. I will flee no longer. Hiding does not become a warrior. Allow me, Satoru. I will teach them to fear the bite of a wild dog. All right. Here we go. I may be a Ronin, but I still walk the path of Kamido. I will defend the Shogun's honor. So that's the samurai option. This war has taken everything from us. I will not see you come to harm alone. We fight together. Okay, so the last option actually was focused on Akira. Akira is trying to figure out, is he a cold-blooded killer, or is he someone who has more empathy for people? I didn't recognize that. He was the one choosing that. And so I chose a dialogue option that made him more warm-hearted, as opposed to if I had said vengeful spirit, it would have made him colder. But this is Satoru talking. He's choosing Ronin. He could choose the samurai option, which says, hey, I still walk the path of honor even if I'm a Ronin. Or it could say, hey, everything has been taken from us. We've just got to work for ourselves, the Ronin path. In the Let's Play on the channel, I went the samurai path, so I'm going to go the Ronin path here. This war has taken everything from us. I will not see you come to harm alone. We fight together. Push towards the samurai path, and their relationship improved. This war has taken everything from us. Akira smiles at his old friend. They'll let the blood we spill honor Master Motsusugu. Yeah, Jovi, Akira focuses on the bow. The point towards the personal mentality on the skills page. Yep, it is. Show yourselves. Hey, you no pride left? So, my informant spoke true. Shogunate cowards hiding from battle and drinking in shade. Speak your name, samurai. I am Kobayashi Kichi, loyal servant of our great emperor, but I do not address a samurai. I see only two ronin, allied to the traitorous shogun, too cowardly to join their feeble master in death. Careful, brave samurai. I hear insults and insolence. Akira's eyes shimmer in fury. But can your blades match your words? Kichi hesitates for a moment before steeling his resolve. Submit to the strength of the Kobayashi clan, and I will grant you merciful deaths. You are not welcome here. Your emperor has been corrupted at the hands of this filthy gaijin. It appears the Japanese savage is upset. As Kichi sizes the room, a flash of uncertainty crosses his face. This isn't right. My informant.
言葉は不要だ。答えは俺の刃が語る。
Get up, get up, get up, get up. The Lord, what's up, man? Appreciate you, dude. This is Shadow of the Road. All right. So now it teaches us the basics. Tactical role-playing, careful, WSD, QE to rotate, and you can scroll to zoom if you wanted to. Boom, 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 boom. Timing gets critical. You've got to pay attention to the timeline. Each character has their own turn interval, which is the number shown at the top, and it shows you when they're going to move. Blood on paper walls, a nice touch. Yeah. You also have attacks of opportunity, so if you walk away while you're standing next to someone, it's going to be a problem. All right, so you get movement points. So I can click the right button, and he'll move over here. And then he's going to get specific skills. His regular attack is a Mofubuki cut. So it costs 1 action point, and it's either going to deal 4 to 5 damage, or if it crits, it'll deal 8 damage. So we'll use that. And since I hit him in the back, it dealt even more damage. And I have 1 action point, but there's no enemies in range. You do not have to spend all of your action points or movement points each turn. All right. So we're going to go ahead and end the turn. Yep, you got half cover, full cover. Yeah, I agree, Star. This game looks super cool. Ooh, you are getting hit up, brother. All right, now comes Akira. So he can move over here. And then he can destroy cover with his shots if he needs to. So he's going to destroy this cover. And then he's going to break the rifleman. So this red line means that he's doing a delayed shot against my character, which means he's going to delay his turn a little bit to size up this shot and deal even more damage. But he's vulnerable in that moment. So now Akira is going to attack him. And not only is it going to break the shot, but it's also going to give Akira more action points that he can use. And so then I'm going to use that to attack this main guy. And not free to strike. Do it so breaks the attack. Yep. And yep, did that. And now it's going to be his turn. Now he's still going to get this free shot. So this guy got really, really hit up. And now one of them is probably going to take him out on the next turn. Has to be a ninja character to take advantage of the backstabs. Actually, Satoru it can take full advantage of the backstabs. Now he's gonna run away so that he can recharge. Now you do get some more powerful abilities, so I can move within range here, and then this time, instead of using his regular attack, we're going to use twin blades, which is basically going to deal twice the damage of the Mofubuki cut. But it has a cooldown. You see here, you have to get 2 kills in order for this ability to be used again, and it costs 2 action points. So you really want to use this in situations where you absolutely know the guy is going to be taken out. And then I can go ahead and move closer. Long times we got a samurai game like this. Yep, I agree. I agree. That's part of the reason I'm excited. All right, so now they eliminate him, so they're going to try to eliminate him as well. In fact, there's no try there. They're almost certainly going to succeed, but it's okay. All right, Akira can line up. Just be careful with as the riflemen were vulnerable to brace those Akira. When using this skill, ensure his position safely. Prepare. So now I have the opportunity to prepare a well-aimed shot against somebody, right? So with a well-aimed shot, he's going to deal significantly more damage. I want to make sure, though, that I'm positioned somewhere that I cannot be easily hit. In fact, let's see. If I do this, so you can see on the timeline that I just moved, right? In fact, here, I'll go back. You'll see that he moved right over here, which means this guy is the one who would have the opportunity to hit me in the event that that I try to do this. But let's see what happens. I'll go ahead and try to kill him and see who he attacks. Okay, he's running away. Yeah, he needs to reload. So now next is going to be his turn. And now they're leaving it to me to mop up the rest of the enemies. No problem. So now I'm going to come over here. And I will do 1 attack. And then we're going to do another attack. So that kills him. And then the next one I want to be able to kill is you. So you know what? I will come over here so that I'm closer to you. And then we'll go ahead and end it. Now he's going to get a free shot. And he takes him out. Excellent. So he's out of there. Now he's going to deal with me. I didn't want him going over to Akira, so that's fine. Now he has the ability to shoot. Is he going to do a regular shot or a delayed shot? He's going to do a delayed shot. So he has the opportunity to technically to really mess me up. But I'm actually not worried because Akira should be able to do something about that. So we're just going to take you out. And then he's going to come over here. And that'll end that. Oh, I didn't realize he was going to get an opportunity to shoot before, you got to pay attention to the timeline. It's all right, though. All right. Now, I guess, far target, no critical damage. That's okay. So, yeah, they'll let you hit far targets with your bow, but you just won't be able to crit. Oh, whoops, I'm sorry. I forgot. You got to manually in your turn. And now I have twin blades available again, but he's almost dead. And I know we're still going to have to deal with that boss. So I'm going to go ahead and just kill him with regular attacks and be done with it. And then I assume, no, they're not going to let me move. All right, now the boss comes out and he's flanked with guys with rifles. So this game is kind of like XCOM, World Trader, where you have access classes, take more advanced certain things than others. Yep, exactly. All right, now this guy has the ability to kind of shift around his allies or his enemies on the timeline. And so you're going to be able to get access to abilities like that as well. And now they're setting up shop. So first, here. You're out of range, okay. But you're probably in range, right? Far target, but you're in range. So, yep, we'll take care of that. And you know what? Let's come over here. Just so that he can, yep. There you go. And now, I almost want to, you know what? No, here, we're going to just do regular. There we go. And then I'm going to shield myself from you. Oh, he's got one more. I didn't even realize that. Oh, crap. Well, you're the only one I can do, so screw it. I should have hit the other guy another time. Oh, well. See, so not only he's damaged me, he shifts me on the timeline. Now, I also have the ability to do that. For one action point, he can modify the turn interval by -3. So we're going to be able to move three spaces quicker. Satoru and his allies allowing their turns to arrive more quickly on the timeline. So right now, my next turn is at 11. His next turn is at 17. I'm going to go ahead and use this. And then I'm going to be at 8. So that means I have this turn, and I'm going to be able to take another turn. And Akira's going to be able to act faster as well. What's up, King? How are you, dude? Tencent is eyeballing every studio they can possibly get their hands on. Anyone will do. All right, let's go over to you. And yeah, we need to do it. Go ahead and do it this way. There we go. You're down for the count. And I can't move anywhere, so that's it. Now, I'm behind cover here. So you're moving. Right. And you couldn't get to me. Oh, that sucks. All right, now. No way that he's going to be able to get to you either. So let's do this. And then this. Uh-huh. And then don't move. I got a little more for you. And I'm hitting you in the back. So you're really getting hit up. You really don't like that. In fact, you're going to try to let me know, but that's a mistake. You should be trying to leave. You, far target. I don't need the crit, though. Even without crit, we'll take care of you. Yeah, you're out of here. All right, now. Nothing else to do but wait. And we're going to make absolute sure this is it for you, homie. That's all she wrote. Oh, what? Brothers, where are you? Ooh, a little bit of mysticism here, too. A little bit of the supernatural. What's up, Aquaticus? No, it doesn't have character creator, but there's no main character in this game. All of the characters are kind of their main character in their own way, and you get to take control of them and choose their dialogue option at different points. May the kami rejoice at your victory.
こんなところで死ぬとはありえぬ。お主は何も分かっていない。
I see the teaching of Motsusugu Dona in your Blaze Warriors. Satoru, Akira, your discipline honors him. It is good to see you, even in these troubling circumstances.
ミカの新しき日の元のために戦っておられる。分からぬのか。あら。
Enough!
サトル、俺に任せて。
あるなさ、アキコ。俺は本当に一生懸命に頑張った。侍として覚えていてくれ。
Toyasu studies Satoru and Akira, carefully observing in silence. All right, sometimes you have a limited time to choose. I'm going to spare his life because that's the Ronin way. Perhaps a second chance may lead to better choices, just as it might for us. And that pushed up more towards Ronin. Kichi looks up in surprise.
私けない浪人。いや、侍よ。
サトル、一体何を？まあ、いいけど。
Toyasu raises an eyebrow at Satoru. Then he contemplates the pitiful samurai on the floor before speaking. This is not the way of Kamido. Even so, you may yet serve a purpose to our shogun. My men will see to you, Kobayashi Keiichi. You know my name? Such is my business. These old eyes see even the petty schemes of the Kobayashi runt. Satoru, Kakira, come with me, we must speak. He approves of it much more if you go ahead and behead him. I see he's not voiced. The later ones had almost fully voiced. Yeah, Outcat said all of their games in the future from now on will be fully voiced. Lower there, the boss. Yeah, you don't get anybody who can do his ability, but you do get another party member who has her own magic abilities. Now then, Toyasu looks the other two running over, the faint wisp of a smile on his lips. I take it you have had your fill of sake. Might I also assume you know who I am? Of course, Toyasu Tasama, faithful hand of the Shogun. Master Motsusugu, he praised you often, and for him praise was not, he was many things, but Akira, let us not speak ill of Motsusugu-sama. Toyasu nods. Silence is a flower. Motsusugu Dona knew this well, and yet he voiced praise for you both, too. Most loyal, most capable of his pupils. In this time of great war, his loss will be felt all the more. Emperor Mushuto, he must be stopped. Toyasu sweeps his hand over the battle-ruined Ryokan. Look around you. You have seen firsthand that misguided men follow his proclamations blindly, and the power of these Gaijin weapons. Indeed, his machinery of war wreaks havoc on our lands. Each morning, my pigeons return with news of its depravity. Toyasu unfurls a messenger scroll and reads from it. Hiroji, a 12-year-old servant in the Emperor's castle, found in possession of the Shinto talisman. The execution of Hiroji's parents, both cast into an enormous clay pot and boiled alive. They were, what? That is not all. Their flesh was served as a stew to Hiroji. He was forced to dine upon his parents or suffer the same fate. Toyasu returns the scroll to his kimono. Emperor Mochizuto is an enemy to all Nippon. Under his will, our lives, our traditions, our connection to the kami, all will be taken from us. I must ask a request of you, warriors of Motsusugo Dona. But first, do you have questions? Forgive me, Toyasu-sama, but I'm unclear. I don't know your profession exactly. Yeah, Japanese mythology, when it's done well, is so awesome. That's why I feel like more games should go in this direction. Star, absolutely, I agree. Does this game include real-world historical figures? I'm not sure, Jovi. It doesn't get deep enough for me to be clear about that. Yeah, boiled alive is no joke. That is true. You do not. The faintest of smiles returns to the old man's face. How did you know we were here? Knowledge is my business, even the drunken rambles of two runaway Ronin and their past misadventures. Toyasu gives a little smirk. Satoru looks down in embarrassment. What will be the fate of Kobayashi samurai we spared? This pushes him even more towards warm-hearted. What will be the fate? Toyasu narrows his eyes. I have yet to decide. Your decision to spare Kichi was unexpected, but perhaps it is as the kami will. Whether it's leverage, a source of information, or something else, he may be of value yet. Toyasu-sama, we are at your service. What is your request? Forging a clay pot big enough for the Emperor. Satoru clears his throat in irritation. Tomorrow, so you see how before we were controlling what Satoru said, now we're controlling what Akira's saying, and Satoru's irritated by what he's saying, right? So it jumps around, and then people you previously had control of will express their feelings regarding what you say. It's an interesting system. It's an interesting dynamic. Tomorrow you present yourselves to the Shogun at Edo. He wishes to speak with you. Shogun Tokugawa-sama? But we are Ronin. We are unworthy of the Shogun. And yet, I ask it of you anyway. Will you refuse? Of course not, Toyasu-sama. We will be there. Somebody got boiled alive on the Shogun show? I haven't watched that yet, but I keep hearing that it's absolutely amazing. Asamar, your game of the year so far is Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. It has some flaws, but voice actors and acting are peak, even for the side quests. Counter pretend to be pregnant. Vaughn Olives died, really left these species. That's awesome. Okay, I haven't finished KCD 2 yet. I'm definitely looking forward to it though. Good. Rest now, warriors. Tomorrow, you shall address Shogun Tokugawa together. You will discuss the future of our land.
江戸の空、暁もゆ、将軍の命、風に響く。同人の運命は変わった。
何時ら北へ向かい杉山の屋敷へ参る。そこで若き主を見出し我が元へ連れてくるのだ。彼は古き友の息子にして戦の命運を握る者。道中何が待ち受けようとも構わぬ。この使命決して違えるな。必ずや彼を無事に届けよ。さもなくば貴様らに帰る地はないと思え。
名誉挽回の木、今ここに使命は単純に見えた。されど若き主とは何者か。
That won't stop me from going back to it, SMR. I still plan to do more Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 content. Sugiyama Estate. The Shogun has delivered his instructions. Travel to the Sugiyama Estate and escort his young master back to Edo. The boy will change the course of the war. The meaning behind these words remains a mystery. Satoru and Akira travel in secrecy through forest roads. On a rain-soaked evening, they arrive at their destination.
だから言ってるだろ。そんな重要な人ならなんで俺たちが行くんだ。将軍の旗本に任せた方がいいに決まってるじゃないか。分かれ道のところ。
俺にもお前の問いに答えはない。アキラ、将軍の御前でひざまずいたのは俺もお前も同じだ。聞いた言葉も同じだ。そしてな、黙って歩こう。
Akira begins to speak again, but then thinks better of it. What is this? An abandoned cart? The wares have been left unattended. Where's the owner? Satoru, look! Was that an Amphirokozo? Satoru nods. Reminds me of Chochan, dancing with them in the rain. Akira chatters happily. Satoru's stern words already forgotten. All right, so this is free exploration. And I forgot, is there a way? There's no way to make items pop up, but usually when you get closer, there will they'll have a little animation that'll let you know there's something there for you to pick up. All right, so you can open the journal by pressing J, which will give you a list of all the characters that you have, and then you can go to objectives to look at any quest that you have outstanding. Relations is unavailable, so I assume that's where you would see what is your relationships with all of the different party members. Perks is also unavailable. This might relate more to each one of them has a different ghost or form that they can transform into. So I think the stuff that you can get for that is under perks. And then skills is going to be unlocked, but it's not available right now. We can go into inventory. So you see, if you go to Satoru's inventory, he has the slot that shows you what weapon he has, but it doesn't allow you to equip or unequip it, which is what makes me think that you do not have the ability to do so. Also, in some of his dialogue, it seems like this weapon has historical significance to him, which also makes me feel like you're probably not going to be able to just swap it in and out. I'm hoping that you can get different clothes at some point. That would be really cool, but again, I'm not sure. So Satoru only has melee options. He does not get any ranged options. Whereas Akira, he's a bow samurai, so he does start off with a bow, and he gets a couple of bow skill points, but he also has a melee weapon. And you'll see when we go into the skills menu, there's actually an option to give him melee abilities so that he can switch back and forth as needed. And so we'll explore more of that once we finally level up. Knockout Dominate. I remember when they had to rely on other companies to get funding. They're a full gaming studio. Yeah, not only a full gaming studio, but also publishing other people's games, which is kind of wild. I definitely didn't think Outcat would go into publishing, so it's going to be interesting to see how that ends up working out. Right, so see that little pop-up there? That's what kind of lets you know that, okay, there's something for me to pick up over on that side. So if we go into the inventory, I just picked up a health potion, so I can give it to you. Drag token, yeah, to the belt slot. Yep, I did. There we go. And then there's another pop-up over there. And this is Warren Hamachi. I'm pretty sure that doesn't do anything. And then sometimes I have this little indicator here. Pile of chopped wood exposed to the rain and surrounded by footsteps in the mud. On the fence, a thick cloth cover. Somebody was working hard but left in a hurry. Judging by the axe marks, they're not a skilled or craft person. What's up, Twinkling? How are you? Appreciate you following me over on Twitch. All right, so now let's see if we can find the cart owner. Oops. And oops. Radar Toki extract. Put that on my belt at some point. Crazy, much better than whoever had a Laval. Yeah, they've been nice. It'll be interesting to see how this game does, though. I feel like a lot of people still don't know about it. At least now that maybe it'll be upgraded through main game. Yeah, we'll see. Pale blue robes, trimmed hair, but these are not the calloused hands of a warrior, a merchant, if I had to guess. Satoru looks out to the gentle lapping of water on the shore. He chose this place. He left our world on his own terms. But why so suddenly? Satoru looks at the crowd of dancing Amafukosa quizzically. Kakira addresses the yokai, a ridiculous smile on his face. Did you see what happened? Of course you didn't. You can't see anything through your big old hats, can you? No, you can't. What? They don't mind, do you, little fellas? We should inform someone at the residence of the body here. The corpse? Akira shrugs. As you wish. We could also take a look at the cart. Now that we know the owner is, you know. All right, so now, oh, you know what? Let me check. Oops. Ah, crap. Let me also bring this back up. One moment. There we go. And let's see. Doesn't look like there's anything else that we have to pick up over here. So let's go back to the cart now. Akira rifles through the contents of the boxes. Raku pottery, statuettes of Amaterasu, a rather amateur statuette, right, Satoru? Leave the kami out of your childishness. Keep searching. Ah, what do we have here? Azami tea and even a few Toki extracts. A good find. Satoru spots a strange device. What is this? Akira's eyes light up. Some kind of device, a weapon or something else? Wait, isn't this Gaijin technology? Satoru, what should we do? All right, so you have a choice. We take only the herbs. May the kami forsake all those tempted by this machinery, which obviously is going to lean him more towards being a samurai. We take the herbs and the device. I do not like it, but it may help our cause. Ronin, do what you got to do. Actually, leave it all, Akira. We are no bandits. We honor the merchant's bravery by respecting his property. I'm sorry, this is actually the samurai option. For sure. We honor his bravery and just leave it all alone. We're going the Ronin route, so we're going to take everything. And he's pushed more towards Ronin, and we get a mysterious ENC device. As far as I can tell, there's nothing you can do with the device in the alpha. We take the herbs and the device and do not like it. I think this is wise, Satoru. By understanding our enemy, we can defeat him. That's another thing. It seems like Akira likes the Ronin options a little more than Samurai, but maybe that won't turn out to be that way in the game. Akira runs his hand over the device. Maybe it can even be used. The path of tradition brought us only to the dead eyes of our master, a discarded corpse on the battlefield. Satoru eyes the device warily. Perhaps it is time for something else. Satoru, let us go. We must find the boy for Shogun Tokugawa. There we go. All good. Have a good one, man. Also been playing. Oh, yeah. How is First Berserker? I've seen a couple of videos about it. Doesn't seem like my kind of game, but I'm glad that there seem to be multiple people who are really excited about it. It seems like one of those Dark Souls, very heavily focused on combat type of experiences. Am I wrong about that? Which honestly, Tainted Grail is too, but Tainted Grail also seems to have a massive focus on story, so that attracts me. An old pier, probably constructed for local fishers and routine merchant shipments, appears to have been neglected for some time. Stems of withered flowers are tied to the posts, a melancholic reminder of a long lost love. And I thought First Berserker wasn't out yet. Pick this up, and let's make sure. This doesn't do anything, right? Yeah, it's just something we hang on to. Yeah, that's also something we just hang on to. You can have another one of these just in case. We're going to get the greater Toki extract. Yep. And then we'll give you one of these. Starts 2 HP. Yeah, and then there's this. Yeah, I can't put this here. Right-clicking in does nothing. The next damaging attack also shifts the enemy rightwards by +5. Oh, you know what? I never used this. Maybe I should. But not for you. I know who I want this on. Oh, but you know what? Do I get a chance? Yeah. I should. Yeah, so we'll do that. No, you are not wrong. Oh, okay. I would like Sekiro's Shadows. Died twice. Why you say that? This combat is the best Souls-like, including FromSoft games. Really? You think it's got better combat than Elden Ring? Why? Oh, 3 days early access. Oh, interesting. Who goes there? Approach solely, strangers. I am Omura Satoru, and my name is Takagi Akira. We gladly find ourselves in your care, fellow warriors of the Shogun. The century studies Akira with a mixture of curiosity and disgust, as white as a Yurei. It is them, Akido. But we are not fellow warriors, Ronin. Satoru stiffens. Of course, he speaks true, Akira. We did not mean to offend. Akido grunts. You may proceed. Master Kenjiro awaits your arrival. But we are keeping our eyes on you. Watch your steps, Ronin. Even a lowly Ronin can know the value of honor and hospitality. Actually, yeah, sure, we'll take that. That pushes you towards Ronin path. A lowly Ronin should know when to hold his tongue. So that was Satoru, but then we switched to Akira, whisper the guards, insult my friend again, and this Yurei will visit your family in their sleep. And you see, that pushed them towards the cold-blooded path. The sentry flinches, his eyes wide in fear. An old, unkept man in decrepit clothes watches the rain fall onto the courtyard. This must be Sugiyama Kenjiro. Upon seeing the two Ronin, he calls out, "You two, finally, making an old man wait in the rain. Every day I'm reminded that manners have forsaken our world. Our apologies, Kenjiro-sama. We travel with great speed to reach you." You here for the boy? Yes, Kenjiro-sama. By the order of Shogun Tokugawa, we are here to escort your son to Edo. The old man's nostrils flare in anger. That little snot is no son of mine. I have given him shelter, clothes, food. The ungrateful brat has been exploiting my kindness for far too long. Take him. A woman appears from the doorway, young enough to be Kenjiro's daughter. My dear, let's not share such bitter words with our guests. Kenjiro's face reddens. You presume to instruct my manner? Forgive me, my love. I've only come to... How dare you interrupt me? All I am doing, for my own goodness, is to correct your mistake. Now do as you are told and stay in the house. Kenjiro-sama, my son is not a mistake. And you still speak. A wife obeys her husband. Return to the house. I only want to say goodbye now. Kenjiro lets out a long sigh. It is as I said, manners have forsaken our world. Perhaps if my wife had valued her purity to begin with, we would have avoided this mess. Forgive me, Kenjiro-sama. A thriving home is built on discipline, but also gentleness. You dare speak to me of manners? A pathetic Ronin? It is as you say, Kenjiro-sama. Had your master taught you correctly, you would not stand before me today. Kenjiro-sama, Satoru-san is an honorable man. He only meant, I know well what he meant. You speak of things you do not understand, Ronin. That wretched boy is probably by the koi pond. Take him and get out of my sight. Well, I suppose we won't be invited to dinner. All right, there we go. Now we finally have skill points. You may develop your skill tree. All right, so you see we already have the Mofubuku cut, and we already have two in blades. What's up, Ian? How are you, dude? Sekiro focuses more on story while maintaining the combat difficulty, but you could do more on Sekiro than in Dark Souls. What do you mean when you say you could do more? It's a lot more in-depth and fun. The impact behind the attacks is the fluidity is just better. Feels like Neo 2, which also has better combat than any of the Soulsborne's game. Huh. The parry system isn't a boring guaranteed stagger. It's a way to whittle down the enemy's stamina bar and opens them up for huge damage. Yeah, that's the way it works in Tainted Grail as well. What's up, Ann? How are you? Interesting. So yeah, we got the Mofubuku cut, we got twin blades, and we have the leader's call. So there's basically two options you can choose between. There's biting wind, which allows Satoru to notice how every sky has perk points attached to it. There's yet another kind of progression shadow roll, more on that later. Yeah, so that's not available here. But Satoru dashes to an enemy, delivering a fair strike as he passes. It's going to deal 7 to 8 damage. Or you can do an upgrade to the Mofubuki cut, where it'll have the Mofubuki cut Bloodthirst, which basically allows you to strike twice, each dealing 2 to 4 damage. Additionally, each slice has a 25% chance of inflicting bleed upon the target. So it's basically a way to do double damage even if you don't have twin blades, even though twin blades is slightly more powerful, but I like this upgrade the most, so we're going to go ahead and lock that. And then you can see at the bottom, he has, you can see the choice that he's trying to decide between, right? So we've already made some choices that go towards Ronin, so we're on our way on that path, but we could have went Samurai if we wanted to. And then we can switch over to Akira. So Akira is trying to choose whether or not he's a cold-blooded murderer or he's a more warm-hearted person. Now, we've already got the quick draw arrow, and we've got the well-placed shot. So, the only option is to upgrade quick draw arrow. Either we can make it where it's got a focus form. Well, it takes a moment to focus his aim. After a short delay, he fires a sudden arrow, dealing 68 damage to an enemy and shifting their turn right by 2. Or he can get a melee option, which is only going to deal 2 to 3 damage, but it will allow an attack in melee. And so it might be good to be able to switch it up. I personally prefer the upgrade to his regular bow attack. So we'll go ahead and take that. And then we will move on. Good luck that I've been waiting for. Yeah, Ian, it's looking really nice. Can we kill this wife abusing scumbag? Eric, I think you're going to be very, very happy with the way this turns out. Very, very happy with the ending of this demo. Tori, look at that rotten board. The estate is in need of repairs. All right, there are two things we wanted to do, right? We need a report. Let's see. Interact. What's up, Hoobla? How are you, man? A sentry stands alone at his post. He stiffens as you approach. Move along. The body of a merchant lies down by the lake. We respectfully ask for his cremation. So this is what we'd actually say if we were samurai, but we're Ronin. There's a corpse by the lake. You want to deal with it? Warm-hearted. There's a corpse by the lake. Corpse? Satoru rubs his temple in expiration. Akira, try again. At the fork in the road by the lake, there's a body. It is the body of a merchant, and he has passed away. Akira looks up at Satoru as though for approval. Satoru gives a small nod. The sentry eyes the two Ronin warily. What happened? Are you responsible? No. We found them a short way from his cart. He took his own life. The sentry lets out a sigh. That poor fool. The merchant traveled here to peddle his wares, but Master Kajiro finds some Gaijin contraption among the goods. East Nippon Company technology. He accused the merchant of being a spy. As punishment, he seized half of the merchandise and sent the man on his way. But with the margins of these traders, it was probably enough to bankrupt him. Show him the strange device, Gaijin contraption. Oh, is this what you mean? Fool, put that thing away, quickly. I strongly suggest you keep that well hidden from the others. They may not be as open-minded as I. Thank you for informing me of the merchant. I will see to his body, but now it's probably best you take your leave. All right, completed. And he gave us some alloy bomb. No idea what that does. What are you staring at, Rojan? A large heap of hay, noticeably infested by mice, occasionally in shifts with their scurrying. Loose hay is scattered around the ground. Toki extract. Greater Toki extract. Can never have too many health potions. One thing I love about Icy says Yasuke has this awesome dash attack where it goes black and white like those samurai movies, and the only thing color is the blood that comes out of the enemy. It looks fantastic. Ooh, I'm looking forward to playing around with that. I think I have to go over here. And is there anything over here? I'm not sure. Looks like no, and looks like I can't talk to you, either of them either. A towering giant stands ready as Satoru and Akira arrive. I think out of all the characters you get, I love Ishida's look the most. Halt. Do not worry, Ishida. These must be the warriors my father spoke of. Satoru nods. The boy looks down. He is putting on a brave face, but clearly he is very anxious. We, met your father. An interesting man. Oh, yes. He taught us all about manners. Did he mention that they've forsaken our world? As a matter of fact, a little smile appears on the boy's face. Is he the reason why you're sitting here in the rain? I've come here sometimes to spend time alone or with my mother. Oh, and with Ishida, of course. You will not escape me that easily, Bokan. The boy grins at the behemoth man. Then his face falls once more. I just thought I'd have more time. Oh, my manners, forgive me. My name is Toshiro, and this is Horozumi Ishida, my guardian and my friend. Ishida grunts in affirmation. I am Omuro Satoru, and this is Takagi Akira. He is also my friend, although he is smaller than yours. More Ronin. Hey, was that a joke from Stone-Faced Satoru? I must be dreaming. Satoru's face remains expressionless. You can depend on us, both of you. But, forgive our haste, we must move swiftly. We will leave right away? Satoru nods. I understand. May I ask, do you know why the Shogun wishes to speak with me? We do not know, young master. As faithful servants of our Shogun, we live only to carry out his will. I see. Toshiro glances at Akira, then quickly looks away. Akira senses the boy's curiosity and flashes a smile. It's all right. You can ask. Toshiro flushes red with embarrassment. I'm sorry, Akira-san. I haven't met anyone like you before. Ishida, too, cannot hide his interest. Skin and hair as white as snow. Eyes like the Rurokuza. Some say I was born under a pale moon. Others, Akira leans in dramatically, that I was cursed by a Tsukumono Suji. Akira, do not frighten the young master with your nonsense stories. There's no curse. He was born like this. It's amazing. I felt throughout Nippon, there's no one quite like you. On that, we are agreed. Bokan, I know my appearance may be a little strange, but you can trust Satoru and I to deliver. Watch out! Ooh! Ooh! Who? Why? Toshiro looks around in panic. Where's mother? Father? We must make our way to the gates. I'm with you, warriors. Let's have a little fun on the way. So you see that we're controlling Ishida now. And this pushed them towards the path of awe. All right, and they're walking us through his moves, but I'll show you all that as we go through. All right. And the camera pats to the priest, and they're so mad. Nice star. Yeah, he's got a massive star and sword, and I love his armor. What's up, Cameo? I can only say after motion capture this ninja, my deck has been paid for weeks. Whoa, real? That's awesome, man. He's my favorite one out of all of them. Appreciate you. Damn, that man was quick. Yeah, this dude looks badass. I agree. All right. So he said, you've learned shift. Use a ram skill on an enemy. So we're going to go up to you. And he's going, oh, whoops. I was supposed to, oh, maybe you don't. Oh, right. So you choose the enemy you want to ram, and then you push him into a space. So we're going to push you close to here. There we go. And he's been shifted to the right. So now more of us are going to have a turn. That's awesome. And then I'm going to get right up close to make sure he can't go nowhere. And he's done for. You've learned delayed skill, but he's going to have focus. So focus is going to make it even more difficult for you to be able to delay a particular character. So now I want to get up close to you. And bright and early, let's just go ahead and start with double cut. Oh. You know, I wonder if I probably should have tried to go all the way around you, but you know, it's all right. So there's what, one character this way? I'm gonna let Akira deal with you, and instead I'm gonna go up to these guys. This does not have a full release date yet. I'm hoping it'll come out this year, but can't be sure. 3 damage. It's not the worst in the world. All right, now he is going to go ahead and come out to deal with you because we could just not let that pass. So no crits, but that's okay. That's all right. We'll make it work. We'll make it happen. Now, every so often, the kid will do something. He'll try to, usually, I believe, try to, oh, you know what? Let's move, I forgot, but let's move people's turns up. That's useful. And then I'll come over here so we can get to it. Now, he can also stun an enemy, which means the enemy cannot move or perform any actions for 1 turn. I like that. And we're just gonna, actually, you know what? No, hold on. His big old sword does so much damage, he's gonna obliterate you anyway. Yep. The enemy have called reinforcements. These reinforcements can arrive following a variety of conditions. Yep. And they're gonna show up on the timeline. So we know we have 1. And unfortunately, the disadvantage of Ishida is he only has 1 action point. So you gotta choose that one thing you want to be able to do, and that's it. Yeah, reloading was a bad move. You should have kept running, son. You should have kept running. Now, what are you gonna do? I don't appreciate that. I do appreciate that, though. But now, what's that? Reinforcements? Ooh, I don't like that. I don't appreciate that at all. Coming out of the ground like that. All right, well, here's what it is. Why does that look red over there? What's that about? Oh, is that blood that came out of you, homie? And there you go. There we go. You're out of here. You're out of here. Now nothing I can do. Okay. She looks like a boss. He does. He better start up to showing us his WWE moves. Let's see. We got 2 of these, and they both got 14 health. So once again, I'll go ahead and use this ASAP. Yep, and unfortunately, that's all I can do, so I have to let that go. Ooh, I didn't know it was gonna come up. You know what? I want you to deal with the rifleman, so I'm not totally against this, but another one. 4. You serious? Woo! All right. Oh, okay. He does have another attack. That's what I thought. Cool. Yeah. You out of here, homie. You out of here, and I'm gonna get all your friends up out of here in a minute too. Doom. Let's make sure you don't just roll. Oh, I got another attack. I didn't even realize that. I don't even know why I have another attack, but I'm gonna take it. All right, now you. You are right in front of us, and but you're gonna run and probably try to do it, get off a delayed shot, right? So you're the one who's a bigger deal. There we go. So we're gonna run all the way to the edge here. At least make it work for it. At least make it work for it. All right, now Sheila, he's got 14 health, which means we're gonna go ahead and stun you because the possibility that I'll be able to take you out in one turn is low. So I'm gonna just make sure you can't do anything else, and then we'll obliterate you on the next go round. Now you're gonna get closer. You're gonna take that one shot. No, you're gonna try to delay your turn, and he's going to get a turn before you will. So I don't even have to worry about him, and so we could just focus on you, and you're out of here. Now you've only got 8 health left. So you're probably gonna have to attack in melee, right? So let's go around here and see if this backstab. Yep, this backstab is good enough. Now we're gonna come back over here and we'll deal with you momentarily. Now you thought you was gonna do something to me, but no, sir. This is not how life works. So we're gonna go ahead and put a stop to that. And then hold on. I'm gonna come over here. Oh, whoa! I forgot about your damn focus. Ooh, I'm so glad I noticed that. I forgot he's got focus, so he's got extra protection before you can break him. Sheesh. Yeah, Shinobi, what did you expect them to do? Look, I expected them to stay down and have the good sense to stay away from me, but apparently that's asking for too much. Once again, I'm gonna make you work for it if you're gonna come over to me. You're gonna heal him some more. Excellent. Keep my tank all nice and topped up. Run. Oh, that's right. I forgot you do have a ranged option. Whatever. He's not worried about that. All right. Yeah, this makes the most sense. Go over you. And yeah, only thing we could do is that we can't stun you, so we'll let that go. All right, now, you. Why are they not? There we go. Give you this, and we're gonna go ahead. Even though we got the double cut, I don't think we need to use that, right? Yep, you're good. And so we'll go over here, and then can't quite move everybody's turn up. Oh, and he's gonna get this hit off on. Oh, okay. I thought he was about to get a hit off on a Kira, but no. How does this work again? Does it delay? Delay 3 turns, and yeah, he's about to move on the next turn. So yeah, that's not gonna work. Yep, do that, and now you're broken, and now let's go and do this. Yeah, like that. Like that very much. Assuming Ashita is the tank, he does have tank-like abilities. Yep. All right, come up over here, and that should be all she wrote, I believe. There we go. All right, the small shrine over there, we can heal at the shrine, so we're gonna approach it and interact. You can only do this once. Once the shrine is used, it's done for. Now let's go into inventory real quick. Ashita, he also is melee only, no ranged options. If you go into skills, he's got an interesting quandary. Is he an all or mirth? I don't get that. I'm not sure what's supposed to be going on here, so maybe it'll become more clear. I mean, I'm sure it'll become more clear when we play the game. Also, even though you can see his full skill tree, all of them have question marks, so I can't tell you anything more about his abilities beyond what you've already seen. All right, and even though we have the kid with us, the kid is not actually a full party member. He doesn't fight, so. was this? Oh, that was just some stuff filtered around. Everything is burning. Everybody's dead. Bad situation.
父親たち
The guards.
死んだ。
だ助けられるかも。
おちゃん待って。
私の息子に手を出すな。人しろ。
Bad, bad lady.
可愛い息子。怪我はないか。
母上今のは
Yo, Dilbro, what's going on, dude? You just finished the playtest? That's awesome, man.
だが
How'd you enjoy it?
今はその時ではない。その方の
Yep, I'm super excited for it as well, man. Super, super excited for it.
ここは早く立ち去った方が良さそうね。
Twirl
もう
nods.
急ぐわよ。
All right, this is the last party member that you get in the alpha version. So she is technically a mix. She can attack in melee, but then she can also use her hair, and she has abilities that allow her to then attack range. Now, her quandary is very interesting. She's a mother who actually cares about her son and wants to help him, or is she a manipulator? Someone who just puppeteering and using her womanly wiles to get what she wants. She's got 3 abilities. Curse Locks is the range ability you just saw. Wheels a lock of her hair, thrusts it forwards, and it punctures an enemy. She also has a Spirit Pool, which causes an ally to be able to take their turn much earlier than they were originally going to. Very useful. And then she has the Stab. She can take it out, do 1 to 2 damage. Not particularly impressive, but in a pinch, it'll do. Yeah, she seems like a very nice person. Very, very nice person. All right, now when we get over here, you see you got an eye to the side of the dog's face. The dog's running around. It really needs help. The fire is gruesome. I could give it a greater depth. So you could kill it, click it to kill it, or you can click this box. The mother will, or in fact, no, actually, you can have them pull down the box. It'll break the gate, and then the dog can get out. Up to you. And now, Elric, I hope you're around.
我が家に何をしよった神々はなぜこのようなことを許されたのだ許さん絶対に許さんぞ呪ってやる
父上
お前全てお前のせいだ
It's so brutal.
ではない拾ってやるべきではなかった貴様あの陰謀も
やめてやめてくれ何が起こってる
What is happening to him? Alpha doesn't really explain, by the way.
おっちゃん
Just insanity. Just absolute insanity.
これは草原竜。
Holy
奈
smokes.
落から召喚された忌まわしい化け物。
Ah! Yeah, he has a condition.
俺にもわからん。だが今はそれどころではない。この草原美を切るぞ。
It must be destroyed. That's one way to bring out a villain. Holy crap. Holy crap. The game does not telegraph that you're about to see something like that at all. At all. Well, okay then. I'm very happy about this. I thought you would be. All right. Let's see. You recognize this spirit from the anime you watched? Nice. Let's see. How much damage do? You do 8. when it's critical. Let's see. So first, bring everybody up. Yep. We want your turns earlier. And then we'll go ahead and get a backstab on you. Come on. 9 damage. Excelente. Wow, that was even more than what I thought it would be. So that's awesome. This is the bus play. You're convinced now, King? Yeah, so you can't see it in this demo, but actually all of the characters you get have a spirit they can transform into. So it's not just, him transforming other enemies. Each one of your party members has their own unique spirit that they can tap into, and they'll get their own skill line from. So there is a trailer out that shows each one of the spirits for each one of the party members. Okay, I'm gonna give Akira that point. So instead, actually, you know what? Yeah, no, I want you to have that actually. There, yep. Shift your turn up. And then go there. And then we'll take you. So creepy. So creepy. And then we'll end. And then, yeah, those fire pits are no joke. And then one slice might not do it. Is this a backstab? I don't think it's considered a backstab. So let's just go ahead and do. Well, actually, I forgot. What does this do again? The same deal. It's only one. So then, yeah, this should do it, right? Yes, he's done. He's done. All right, now, you. There we go. And let's see, what's your deal? Yep, backstab again. And I'm probably going in this direction, so let's do that. Might have to pick. Okay, that vastly changed my perspective on this game. Boy has beholder syndrome. Basically. Okay, so first, let's go ahead, get behind some cover, and move off that fire pit in the process. And then let's go ahead and break you up. Yep. And then he's got significantly less health. Oh, but he's a far target, no chance for a crit. There we go, that's a break. And he's got 2. What will happen here? Okay, yeah, no, not. A little too much, a little too much. Well, actually, you know what? Here, we're gonna do this. No crit on you though. And nobody else is in range. So actually, no, it makes sense to just go ahead and do this. Think about it. Because then Ishida's just gonna run up to take care of it. She is gonna run up. And you're done for. Yep, there we go. And then he's gonna take care. Oop, no, damn, he needed to go a little bit further, but oh well. If that is Mama's job to teach how to use his transformation, might be Blizzard. What's up, Twisted? You know, a couple of people have mentioned Atom Fall to me. I didn't plan to do anything for it, but I might go ahead and give it a look. We'll see. I might give it a look because enough people have been saying, hey, what's your deal? Are you going to play this? And I'm a man of the people. Ah, so close and yet so far. You going to go back? Of course, you would do the annoying thing. Go back. All right, you're good. You got to move off of here, so let's go out. Who is, well, who are I can't? You're obscured. The way obscured works in this game is kind of goofy to me. Like, there have definitely been some times where I felt like the game said someone was obscured, and they shouldn't have been treated as obscured. But it is what it is. All right. No. Supplied to bed, exactly. I'm convinced Sheeta just slashed me with the flat of his blade. Let's see, curse locks. Let her run. Where's it supposed to be running to? Let's go over this way. So, does this work? No. Target is considered obscured, of course. Actually, here. What if we came right over here? Is this a bug or okay? Here, she can do it now. Boop. Bing, bing. Excellent. Any, she's got a little bit of... Oh, that's right. She can attack twice. Oh, well, heck. Might as well go ahead and poke one of them eyeballs out. More of these. And, oh, that didn't kill him! What the hell? I never saw this dude. I completely forgot he was back there. Dogging. All right. Well, what makes sense for you? Yeah, it probably makes more sense. Just come on over here. And into you. Woo-hoo! 11. And then stop that. And then somebody's got to come deal with old boy, right? So might as well be you. And you are really, really going to give him a bad day. Oh, he thought he was going to do so much. Mama told him he was going to be a star. Oh, you didn't get an attack? Wasn't an attack of opportunity? That's unfortunate. Killing your own people. Shameful. Shameful business. Let's go here. And then, yeah, let's go ahead and get it popping for real. And then she, you know what? She's going to do you super dirty. She's going to do you so damn dirty. She is going to move you up 5 spaces. And you're still going to get a shot before he did. Come on now. Target's right in front of her. Why? Target is not obscured. Seth is night. He just bitch slapped someone to die. He looks like it. He's gonna have another badass moment in a second. Make it clear. I'm the one who makes the decisions around here. All right. Yep. Gonna do a little bit of that. And yep, a little bit more of that too. And then we'll let it go. Now you're gonna start running. Healing everybody but the boss. You're gonna run. Oh, he's gonna break him. And he pushed him into a damn fire pit. So annoying. All right. I am not automatically getting my movement the way I'm supposed to, but it's okay. I'll work with it. I'll figure it out. So we go here. We go here. And then we're going to... Can I stun? This enemy is immune to stun. Of course he is. So you know, we're just going to do a play attack. Boom, 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 boom. He's got another attack now? And now all of his little annoying eyeballs come out. So he exploded himself and brought out all of his little buddies. So luckily they only have 1 health. You're down, you're down. Ooh. and they explode on top of being annoying just seeing them. They also explode when they drop. It's just not cool all the way around. All right. First and foremost, let's make sure you can stop your little reign of tyranny, sir. And that's all we'll do for that for now. What's up, Muppet? Yeah, I'm enjoying it thoroughly, dude. Definitely feel like it's a good time. I have a Let's Play on the channel of it as well. So, yeah, dude. Well worth it. Well worth it. Flip. Frames are a bit difficult. Yeah, it's a lot for the game to handle. What are they going to tell the Shogun about what happened here? This is an excellent question. An excellent question. And we're going to take out you. There's one more eyeball somewhere, but I don't know where. Where's that last eyeball? What? Where are you? Oh, there we go. Okay. I hate the way they just let you fly around with no attacks of opportunity. What is that? Oh, they got a play test as well. Sign up for it. Oh, awesome, Muppet. Yeah, I hope you do, dude. The house fire blew. And the wolves ate all the bodies. That's certainly one way to do it. All right. Let's go here. And yeah, we're going to give you a double amount. Yep, you're done for. And that's it. Toshiro! My baby, wake up, please. Wake up. Volkan, what has happened to him? His spirit has become trapped. I cannot rouse him. I cannot help him. We must take him to someone that can. Ashida, would you mind? I will carry him, Asuka-sama. Asuka-sama, the Shogun has tasked us with. Toshiro cannot serve your Shogun like this. Surely you can see that. Then what do you suggest? There's a monastery not far from here. The Shinshoku there, in matters of the spirit, they may be able to help. In Edo, I'm sure there are. Satoru-san, this is not a discussion. I'm taking the boy to the monastery. If you wish to join us, you may. Yo, you only think you're in charge, bro. Very well. To the monastery then. And please, let us make haste. And that's it. Thank you for playing. Thank you so much for reaching the end of our playtest for Shadow of the Road. The monstrous Sokimbi has been destroyed, but our heroes have a great journey ahead of them, and they'll need your help. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Would you please take a moment to share your feedback with us? To keep up to date with the latest news, please wish list us on Steam. We're excited to share more with you soon. And in fact, good call out. Let me go ahead and put a link. One moment, let me bring up Steam and Shadow of the Road. And let's go ahead and get that Steam link, pause the trailer, and I will put that there and put that there. Yeah, it's more like a demo of the alpha than like a full alpha build of the game. Yeah, it's not like 20 hours of gameplay. That's why, honestly, I'm not sure if the game is coming out this year. Obviously, it still has quite a ways to go before it's going to be ready. And so it'd be nice if it came out this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if it took significantly longer. Shadow of the Road trailer. So before I leave, here we go. Here, I think this is the video of the yokai. So that gives you an idea of what the game is all about. Once again, I feel like there's quite a bit to look forward to. I think the way they're using Japanese lore and history in the game looks super super cool. I love that they're sticking with really hardcore CRPG mechanics, and so it appeals to a very different audience. And I'm really really looking forward to this game. No question, I will be covering it heavy on the channel. So if you haven't already, definitely make sure that you subscribe, like this video if you've enjoyed the stream, and you can definitely look forward to more Shadow of the Road content for me. I'll probably put up another video at some point with some more thoughts that I have after seeing the presentation and having some discussion with Dev from another angle. And yeah, overall, I think there's a lot for you all to look forward to. Can't imagine the stress levels a parent would have if they saw this happen to their kid. True that. True that. Yeah, I agree. Elric, Blizzard, glad you all enjoy the game. I do. I agree. I agree. I think this game has absolutely fantastic potential. They already made it clear it's not going to be a massive CRPG epic the way some Outcat games are. So they're going for the 20 to 40 hour range, not the 100-hour range. And I like that because I love when I hear developers saying, you know, we're going to do something, working with something that's viable, you know, working within our means, not reaching so high that all of a sudden you and nothing is not just not going to work at all. When is the next stream? Great question. So as you all can see, I'm changing some things in the back. But it's taking way longer than I thought I would because we're also completely redoing my daughter's room as well. My hope is at the latest by this weekend, streams will be back to normal. I don't have decided yet if I'm going to jump back into Solasta or if we're going to end up just moving forward to another game. I think you all have seen enough of Solasta to give you an idea of whether or not you want to do Solasta 2. So I might do something else. We'll see. But regardless, yeah, I'm really looking forward to get back to streaming. I miss being with you guys. Still waiting to see what they tell the Shogun about this insanity. That should be a very, very interesting conversation indeed. Going to get some more cool things in the background after the rearranging. Yeah, basically what I wanted is I took the bookshelf that used to be over on the right side here and I put it back here, and it allows me to pull up all my comic books on the back. A lot of the figurines and stuff that I've collected over the years, I can display that as well. And then still have the shield and the helmet on either side. So it needs to be properly centered. I actually bought a new camera, so I need to set my new camera up. And I have a camera arm so that I can position it properly so I can hopefully have a much better angle. It might not be a whole bunch of new stuff, but I'm hoping I can get a much better angle on how the stuff looks. And I actually brought a new mic because I've been having some issues with this mic. The port is broken. The cord randomly falls out. And so I've had times where I've recorded entire videos and then all of a sudden found out they had no audio, or all of a sudden the audio stops working when I'm streaming. So I had to invest in a new mic. And since I did that, I decided to just go XLR. I've been using USB and I keep hearing about how XLR sounds much better. So I want to play around with that because my hope also is that probably by mid-April, I want to start getting into voice acting. So I'm going to start putting feelers out to some of the indie devs, looking at potential Fiverr jobs, stuff like that, and seeing about trying to use that as a way to bring in more income. So a lot of stuff going on, and I want to rearrange and upgrade my equipment to accommodate what I want to do, because also probably by around late May, maybe June, somewhere in that range, I do plan to start doing a podcast. So that should be a lot of fun as well. And I want to make sure that I'm properly set up to be able to handle that. So yeah, stuff in the pipeline. Hey, there's a 3 hours old Bloodlines 2 first look article on PC. What? They're positive about it? There's a PC Gamer article on Bloodlines 2 and they're positive about it? All right, hold on. We might have to actually check this out on the stream because you you can't be serious. And your voice was more loud. Remember, I said complaints about that this stream. It matched the phone's audio level. Interesting. Okay. So yeah, from a technical standpoint, definitely trying to improve things. Test with the test, bringing this not burn the house down. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 first hands-on, a gory undead power fantasy that I'm desperate to play again. What? You know, hold on. First of all, let me make sure this looks right. 1 second. You know, it's so interesting being someone who reads PC Gamer on a regular basis because sometimes PC Gamer is like 100% on point, and you're like, whoa, this is some really great analysis that makes me think about the situation differently. And then sometimes some articles come out, and you're like, who wrote this? Who wrote this? And what made them feel comfortable putting this out? So hold on. This was written by Fraser Brown. He does strategy games, have been a 30-year-long obsession. So he's mostly into strategy games, and he really, really enjoys MMOs and likes to wind down with an endlessly deep systemic RPG. Bloodlines 2 won't have typical RPG romantic relationships, but it will feature romantic feeding. Okay. Delayed. So apparently he is the Vampire the Masquerade guy. Adam Fall review, a muddled sci-fi misadventure in need of a stronger identity. Weren't one of you just recommending Adam Fall to me? They gave it a 62. This guy gave it a 62, said it was absolute garbage. Shadows has convinced me that Ubisoft will never make a good RPG. Okay, so he's not interested in Shadows either. And let's see. Okay, so he does do a lot of RPG-related content. A Relentless Parade is surprisingly one of the best co-op games around. I actually agree with that. Split Fiction has been fantastic. Impressive combat system that I should love, but which I actually hate. That's fair. Everybody has their own opinion. The creators of Disco Elysium unofficially consulted on fascinating upcoming RPG Rue Valley during a brutalist architectural tour of Belgrade. It was completely unexpected. That actually sounds like an article I would love to read. All right. So, seems like he's definitely an RPG guy. And let's see what he has to say about Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. Are there Bloodlines 2 a year ago? Oh, you're going to play it no matter what? Why you say I need to pay attention to the game more? They've gave Kazan an 80, I think. Interesting. As a former teenage goth and Anne Rice fanatic, announcement, but that was 6 years ago. Since then, it's been delays. I was unsure of what to expect. Ooh, that's a nice screenshot. Damn. And you know what? I just realized this looks way different from any of the characters that we were shown previously. We always were shown Fire, but in that previous way that she looked, which I personally found to be very unimpressive, but we'll see. It's a very different experience from Redemption and Bloodline 1, both of which put you in a blow-soaked boost of a fledgling vampire, clueless and weak, and more resilient. Yeah, right. That's a part of this sequel that I do find interesting, that apparently you're not playing like a newborn. You're not playing a complete brand new vampire. You're playing someone who was a vampire already for like 100 years and then recently woke up. So it's a totally different feel. And you have a voice in your head, right? The tutorial is stealth heavy and pretty standard, but once I'm out of the derelict building, things really pick up. Might roll your eyes, but the Chinese room is going to great lengths to ensure you still feel like a supernatural predator. So you still need to go through a leveling process. You still have lots of points to play with from the get-go. Right away, you've got supernatural strength, speed, and agility. You can scramble up buildings, glide for long distances, and pull off air dashes. Even better, you've got unlimited telekinesis. Fights are a trip. After last year's, it was pretty cool of how it looked. As the viewers easy to brush it off. When you're in control, though, it all comes together. That messiness becomes gleeful control chaos as you juggle bodies, rip out throats, and use your vampiric powers to make mortals and vamps alike explode in a shower of blood. And that jerkiness reveals itself to be the snappy, rhythmic flow of battle, letting you effortlessly bounce between victims, chaining powers and kills for maximum carnage. So this is consistent with the way that I felt before. When I saw the gameplay footage and that they revealed previously, I was like, hey, just being realistic, combat looks way better than it did in the first Bloodlines game. The problem is, for me at least, in order to do that, it seems like they stripped out everything else that made Bloodlines amazing. Like, as far as I can tell, you don't have, there's not real persuasion. You don't hack. There's no lock picking. You know, you don't have those alternative methods in order to deal with different situations. And that's what really, really turned me off. But I felt like from the get-go, when I saw the gameplay footage, all right, this team is clearly prioritizing combat. But to me, that's actually kind of the problem. For a couple hours, I realized what it reminded me of. Watching a turn-based game being fast-forwarded. There's even more evident if you choose to use your supernatural speed to slow down time and make tactical choices. To be clear, this is a 100% real-time game, but the rhythm definitely has turn-based vibes as you slide from target to target, following the plan of attack that you settled on when you were spying your prey from the rooftops. I'm pleased to say that he had claimed that people who have seen it talk about Dishonored is not an idle boast. It really does feel like Dishonored. That's, in my opinion, that's a good thing. I really enjoyed Dishonored. But the problem with that is you're only talking about Dishonored from the concept of combat. A big appeal of Dishonored is not just the combat. It's also about the quest, the dialogue, and most importantly, how your quest can be resolved. Doing a no-kill run in Dishonored was freaking amazing. Some of those no-kill options were cruel as hell. Like, you were doing terrible things to people. You weren't killing them, but you were doing absolutely terrible things to them. This was all a big draw of the game. So you can't just really throw that out and be like, well, it's like Dishonored. Yeah, in the combat, but what about all the other factors of the game? The stealth, the supernatural mobility, the wild flexibility of your powers, Arcane would absolutely approve. That's the way I felt looking at the gameplay footage. On their own, each power is impressive and usually comes with extra situational utility. I was playing as a Tremere my first run. I think in classic RPG parlance, think Maze, these undead alchemists stole the gift curse of vampirism through diabolical alchemy, and in Bloodlines 2 are highly mobile, ranged attackers. It's worth noting that your choice of clan is made early, but not straight away, letting you first settle on some of your backstory and get to grips with the world of darkness first. As a Tremere, my first power was a doozy, effectively turning my target into a blood bomb. And yes, it's a blast. That's actually, in my opinion, an improvement over the first game. Because in the first game, you had to choose your clan right up front. And I felt like it might be more advantageous for people to get a feel for the world of darkness, like this article mentioned, you know, and then make the choice about which clan appeals to them the most. So I actually like that they did this. I think that's a positive step that will help players really understand what the different clan options mean and make a decision that will hopefully limit them deciding that they want to restart the whole game. You prime your target, which takes a few seconds, and when they take damage, they go kaboom. If they're in a crowd of enemies, you're going to rack up a nice body count, and you can be very, very sneaky if you progress to the point where you've unlocked powers from other clans. You know what? I'm sorry. Before I forget, let me go ahead and throw this link in the chat for anybody else who wants to go ahead and take a gander at the article. Am I wrong that nothing about combat is what people love cared about the original? Like, I don't know about, yeah. That's the thing. People didn't really, the combat was not great in Bloodlines 1, which is why I feel very comfortable saying the combat in Bloodlines 2 will be better. But there's a whole list of other things that made Bloodlines 1 incredible, one of the best CRPGs ever made. It doesn't seem like this game is going to try to emulate any of that, but I could be wrong. Let's keep moving on. Let's keep reading. If you progress to the point, you've unlocked powers from other clans. Yeah, so you can take powers from other clans even when you've chosen your own clans. You can pair this with the Ventru's possession power, temporarily taking control of an enemy, walking them into the center of a group, and then setting off the bomb. Now that's crazy. That's super, super interesting. There's so many combos that will leave you malevolently giddy, cackling away as you watch your victims succumb to your powers and clever plans. It's a good one. You can use the Ventru's mass manipulation power to put everyone in your gaze under your sway. This subdues them, but also primes them for any powers from the Dominate discipline. Taunt, one of the Bruja clan's tricks, is one such power, as well as making enemies attack you, so it forces them to drop their weapons. Maybe one of those weapons is a gun, and maybe then you use telekinesis to lift that gun into the air and start firing into the charging horde, and maybe you have a very good time. See, that all sounds fantastic. That all sounds fantastic, and it's a major, major step beyond what we could do with Bloodlines 1. No question. So that kind of stuff, it's part of the reason why I definitely plan to play Bloodlines 2, and I don't consider Bloodlines 2 like a cash grab. I don't consider it like, well, this game should have never been made. It's clearly just going to be trash, blah, blah, blah. I don't think of it that way, but I do think it's very, very unfortunate it has the Bloodlines name. It should have been like Vampire the Masquerade, something else. Because to me, Chinese Room is just doing their own spin on the title. And it's not Chinese Room's fault at all. All right, this is not on them. This is Paradox. Paradox should have handled this situation better at the end of the day. But it really doesn't seem like a Bloodlines game is being made. And I think, unfortunately, on some level, that's going to harm people's ability to enjoy this if they're familiar with the previous title. What's up, Chris? Feels like last year's are reviving the horrible years we all experienced a decade ago, where every single game was early access for years and years and years. Yeah, I'm hoping we get away from that at some point. I like early access. It gives you an idea of what the game is going to be like, and I was cool with it for Baldur's Gate 3, you know, because it was so consistently being updated. And it was so clear, hey, they're really making something incredible. But yeah, for Bloodlines 2, it's been a nightmare. Here's a good one. You could use, oh, yeah. Maybe you have a good time. Ooh, they're picking the right screenshots. You don't need to combine different clan powers to have fun, though. I became rather partial to use the Ventru's mass manipulation with its terminal decree power. Basically, you just command a bunch of people to break their own necks. It's a good way to clear out a room. Crazy. Now, you won't be able to do most of these things in the prologue. They cheated a wee bit to let me access these abilities long before I was meant to. But even when I was limited, I was impressed by how dangerous Bloodlines 2 makes you feel. With just your basic attack, first power, and telekinesis, you're a proper monster. During the prologue, I only actually fought one other vampire, though. The rest were humans and ghouls. And when other vamps were involved, things get a lot more tricky, thanks to their powers and their substantial health pool. My one undead foe was a Bruja berserker wielding a massive hammer and juggling both him and his ghoul minions together, piled on the pressure. That said, I still turned him into a bloody smear. What's surprising is how often you can actually use your powers. See, they all have a blood cost. So blood curse costs 3 points, which means you have to feed 3 times to recharge it. You might assume this means you can only use it sparingly, but that's not really the case. This is because you can perform combat feeds on weakened enemies. And thanks to the pace of fights, you can effectively chain these together and get up to full power again in seconds. The feeding is brisk too, though you are vulnerable while you're chowing down. Bloodlines 2 has been referred to as an action RPG a lot, but that can mean a lot of different things. We're not dealing with Path of Exile or Elden Ring here. Yes, the action is violent, visceral, and frequent, but it's not all Bloodlines 2 is. It's also a labyrinth mystery and a Machiavellian tug of war. Ooh, looks like we're getting to the good stuff part. Love how in 2 you could play as 2 different characters, 2 different play styles. Yeah, I need to circle back to 2. For whatever reason, I had trouble getting into it. I love Dishonored, played it multiple times. I bought Dishonored 2. I played it for like 2 hours, and I was like, this isn't moving me. And I can't tell you why. So I'm definitely going to try it again. Once again, good games. Now, sadly, Bloods 2 turned out to be a disaster. Yeah. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, yeah, I'm not clear on if it's really a paradox issue or if it was what's his name developer that they cut ties with. If they were truly doing something wrong, I couldn't tell you, but it just seemed like the situation was absolutely mishandled. What's up, Remortis? How are you, dude? We all knew Larry was going to make a masterpiece. This is true. This is true. Fire wakes up to a city in shambles. Seattle has been ruled by the Camarilla. Forever but the night you awaken, his grip over the city is under threat. Murders, an attempted coup, and dire importance. This is a bad time to be a supporter of the status quo. She has been engulfed in snow. The rebellious anarch faction is making big bloody moves, and the number of thin bloods is growing. Okay. And into this tumult walks a powerful Eldar, an agent of change. Do that, they have to play nice with the vampires of Seattle who all have complicated agendas. That the premise does sound outstanding, but what mechanics are you given to play with this premise? This means that there's as much chatting as there is violence, and the conversations are just as dangerous. How these chats play out is evocative of Telltale's dialogue system, but a bit more complex. Fire's backstory, elements of which you get to pick, but not straight away and not all at once, making them as much a mystery to the player as they are to Seattle's denizens. Clan and carefully chosen words all carry a lot of weight. What makes conversation such a tightrope walk is how elaborate the reputation system is and how it's all tied to personal relationships and individual points of view. Most RPGs treat reputation as this global resource, like Fallout's karma system. Individuals and groups might react differently to you, but they're all basing this on the same information. In Bloodlines 2, however, you have a discrete relationship with everyone, and one response can be taken in a variety of different ways, depending on how you've acted with that person previously. So if you've been rude and brash in your dealings with a specific character, and then say something friendly and sincere, they will assume you're being sarcastic and will react accordingly. But if you've always been nice to them, they'll take it at face value. This way, you're not really able to game the system or become a social chameleon. You can't just say what you think everyone wants to hear. That is interesting. And they've mentioned this a little bit, but I haven't seen it in action yet. I really need to see it in action more before I make a decision. But that does sound intriguing. All right. So it seems like maybe it's not straight up persuasion. Instead, it's reputation and how you deal with people that will decide whether or not you're able to motivate them and persuade them. I love how, because Dishonored 2 didn't have the dark feasting setting the first game had. That was definitely part of it. The mystery about the whale was awesome. Dishonored 2 was nice, but not even close. Okay, so I'm not alone and feel like the first one was better. Interesting. So this game might be a must-buy. It might be. I mean, I'm going to play it no matter what. It's a Bloodlines game. I got to play it. It's not like we get a ton of Vampire the Masquerade games as it is. Funnily, that's your Dishonored experience too? Okay, so I'm not alone. The visuals in Dishonored 2 were a little more realistic than the OG, but it definitely is worth going back to. Okay, I'm going to probably try it out. Whoa! You starting to stream daily, Remortis? Okay. I'll definitely make sure that if I see you streaming, I'll join in. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all of you already know, but Remortis is a content creator, same like me. So he's been doing a lot of Rogue Trader content, BG3 content, things of that nature. So streams a lot of the same games. So if you haven't already, definitely check him out. The clockwork level in Dishonored 2 is great. Okay. Interesting. It's interesting. All right, now let's move on. Bloodlines 2 also eschews the RPG tradition of exhausting every dialogue option, and you never know what option is going to have an impact. For instance, most RPGs fill your conversations with questions that flesh out your knowledge of the world, and they are typically low-stakes topics of conversation. In Bloodlines 2, these questions are all part of this elaborate diplomatic dance and are just as critical to building a relationship as the more meaty options. Take, for instance, my first chat with Lou Graham, Seattle's big mover and shaker. Lou is actually a real historical figure, but while in life she was a brothel owner, in death she is a Ventrue vamp and former prince of Seattle. She gave up her throne, but then she installed her own undead progeny on the big seat, so she remains extremely influential. In my Tremere playthrough, I mostly just pissed her off. We got off on the wrong foot initially because of my clan. Most vamps don't like the Tremere because they stole their power, and even for vampires, can be a bit creepy. So Lou litters our conversations with barbs, suggesting that I smell bad, need a bath, and that the Tremere are a bunch of loser nerds. She is every bit the arrogant, haughty Ventru, a class that sees itself as vampire society's natural leaders. But by asking her about herself, playing into her narcissism, I briefly managed to get on her good side until I asked some more questions, awkward questions, and irritate her all over again. Oh, that's actually kind of interesting. So you have to consider each dialogue option you pick carefully. I like that. I like that if it's well handled. Now, Avowed had a similar system that I felt like was extremely poorly handled, right? Because randomly conversations could close based on what you picked. And at the same time, the game didn't provide tension with every dialogue option you chose, right? So it didn't feel like, oh man, I've got to carefully select which one of these I choose because any one of them could set this other person off. Avowed didn't feel that way. And so because of it, I didn't like the fact that randomly the question that I asked could close out the whole conversation and I wouldn't be able to answer any of the other questions. But if they set this up properly, where the player can, to some degree, look at the options and say, okay, this is probably what's going to set them off, or this is probably what's going to allow the conversation to continue in a positive manner, that might be really cool. We'll see. We'll see. Been going between BG3 lately, but also doing, V Rising. Oh, nice. See a bit before I take a down tap dance. Nice. Doing a patch update for BG, but taking a break this week to play some V-Rise. Yeah, I plan to get back into BG3 when the new patch comes out. Do you know how to edit what the Stream Elements chatbot says? I need to change it. It still has me playing Rogue Trader every day when I'm not. Yeah, there's a that should be along the left when you log into Stream Elements. There should be an option along the left that allows you to go into the bot interface and allows you to change it. I haven't gone into that in a while. In fact, I probably should. But when I do that again, I'll message you and let you know. What's the worst game this year, in your opinion? I'd say it's Avowed out of the more major releases. I don't feel empowered to answer that because I haven't played a whole lot of games that released this year. I played Avowed. I played some of Tainted Grail, and I plan to play more of it. I played Shadow of the Road. What else has come out? I played Kingdom Come Deliverance too. So I'm not playing a whole bunch back to back to back. Yep, take care, Remortis. Awkward questions. And my second playthrough, armed with more knowledge, things got better. Because I picked Ventru this time, we're on more even footing. There's mutual respect. She compliments me rather than spitting venom. And I managed to avoid stepping on any landmines this time. Your choice of clan also opens up new opportunities during dialogue scenes, revealing new information or just helping you develop the relationship. How characters react to you also goes well beyond liking or not liking what you're saying. When I first met a fellow Tremere, a scientist, I went down the flirty route. This made her a bit embarrassed, but she also enjoyed it, and her giggliness gave me an advantage in the conversation. The tactic worked because it was clear she was a nomad fangirl, but it would have been a mistake if I tried the same thing with Lou, which is a shame because I'm already a big Lou fan. This becomes a bit more tricky to juggle when you're chatting to multiple people. When I flirted with my new pal in front of two other vampires, she reacted positively again, but her boss was annoyed, and the third vampire, a mischievous Nosferatu, found her irritation amusing. That one seemingly throwaway bit of flirting subtly changed my relationship with three characters. That all sounds super cool, honestly. That actually sounds really, really interesting. The dialogue and relationship systems all elegantly reinforce the fact that Bloodlines 2 is an investigative kind of RPG, something it shares with my all-time fave Disco Elysium. Come on now, let's not be comparing this with Disco Elysium. Imagine Raymond Chandler spliced with Anne Rice and you're getting it. So these chats are puzzles, and in a lot of cases, the game subtly fed me information about my conversation companions before I met them. I had in my chat with Lou, for instance, Fabian dropped some hints about her, and I witnessed a flashback showing me a meeting he had with her. And before I met my Tremere fangirl, Lou spat out some insults that gave me a rough idea of what to expect. The more I chatted to the Vamps of Seattle, the more I learned about their allies and enemies, information I could squirrel away and exploit later. Yes, darling. Can I what? Set a timer for 20 minutes? Yes. Yeah, I got you. Okay, we'll do. What's up, RPG? How are you, man? Always good to see you. I'll tell you, don't buy the full game instead. Just get Ubisoft Plus. I already bought the full game because my wife actually really enjoys watching me live stream games. So, watching me play games rather. So I bought the full game so we can sit on the couch together and just play it. Because it'll probably take me months to get through a playthrough. At times, I feel a wee bit like an undead Sherlock Holmes. Ooh, man, I like the idea of that and identifying characteristics and using them to adapt. What clan a vamp belongs to right at the gate from their varying styles. The fine clothes and stuck-up attitude is classic Ventru. Weird goths and bookworms are going to be Tremere. And anyone dressed like they're at a fashion show or hosting a gallery opening is almost certainly a Toreador. The clans aren't treated as like monoliths, but each member has something that identifies them, and that is incredibly helpful when it comes time to make a deal with them. The deal is with mortals with more food-based. While you can feed on whoever you want, get caught doing anything vampy out in the open, though, and you get hunted by the cops. Or worse, another vampire will put a stake through your heart for breaking the masquerade. Yikes. There's also a sort of mini-game surrounding blood resonance. Someone who's angry or melancholy or turned on has a different blood resonance. And to unlock the powers of other clans, you'll need to gather these resonances by encouraging these emotions before dinner time. That's interesting. Yeah, I'll definitely let you know, Elric, how I feel about Shadows when I get a chance to play it. This was a bit like a conversation with vampires, and that humans react differently based on who they are and how they perceive you. Talk to a sex worker while looking rough and they'll tell you to go away. But if you're well-dressed, they might be more interested. But if you're wearing something a bit sexy, they might assume you're another sex worker and chase you off. Ha ha ha! That's actually kind of cool. Wow. The world doesn't always react to these facts. I saw a woman getting into a fight with an ATM, and when I approached her, she turned her anger on me. I tried to then draw her to an alley where I could feed, but a cop noticed her going nuts on me, and because this is America, opened fire, scattering all of my potential meals. The Chinese room emphasized this is not a free-for-all sandbox. It's not Skyrim, but there are definitely some elements of that, particularly in its occasional immersive sim sensibilities. So when his time was done, he felt reassured and shocked by how good the combat felt. Powerful, tactical, delightfully over the top. Love the exchanging barbs and pleasantries with Seattle's secret rulers. The writing is playful, the mystery is compelling, and the systems underpinning these chats are exactly what I want from an RPG. The performances are also noteworthy. Casting me having a whale of a time playing outrageous predators. You particularly enjoy Fire, whose two voice actors do a great job of capturing this old, deadly vamp. Wow, this does make it more interesting, even though, again, he's not saying anything about utility options outside of combat. So it really does seem like sneak and attack, sneak and attack, sneak and attack. I do, however, hope that the finished game will polish up the animations, which in dialogue scenes still are stiff. They were stiff in the last gameplay features, so that's probably part of what they're working on. And I understand the game just got delayed, so that's part of the reason it got delayed as well. And I really wish I had been able to play with a mouse and keyboard. While it was a PC build, I was using a controller, and the fast-paced first-person combat was a bit trickier to get to grips with due to this. Okay. I'm also not quite sold on the open world Seattle yet. It looks great, and I love navigating it with my supernatural powers, but it also seemed a bit quiet. There are some hidden collectibles and light snacks, but the prologue didn't give me much of a chance to explore its potential opportunities. Okay. Or understand why it's an open world. Probably doesn't need to be. Mostly, though, I just want to play again. It's impossible to judge something like Bloodlines 2 just after a few hours, but this is a fantastic introduction of what they've been working on, and a lot of my concerns have been put to rest. Dreaming up my builds, and hopefully I'll be able to turn Lou into my BFF. The bad news is we'll have to wait for longer. Bloodlines 2 will no longer be appearing during the first half of 2025. Instead, it's been pushed back again and is now expected to launch this October. Another delay is disappointing, but releasing during the spookiest month of the year, at least feels appropriate. I do agree with that. All right. All right. Well, that certainly sounds better than anything we've been told before about what was going to happen with this game. I'm going to be playing it no matter what. Whether or not I'm actually going to enjoy it, is anyone's guess. But I am going to play it for the game that it is, right? I'm not going to be sitting up saying, oh, this is not as good as Bloodlines 2. Oh, this is not as good as Bloodlines 2. We know we're not getting the true Bloodlines 2, right? So now the question becomes, is the game the Chinese Room created actually good? Is it a good, enjoyable experience? And a lot of what I heard in that, or what I read in that article, it does sound pretty good. It does sound like something I'd enjoy. At least they put a lot of work into how the dialogue system works, and it's obvious the combat is going to be head and shoulders above what we got in the first game. So we'll see. Anyway, that is the stream for today. I will not forget my daughter's 20-minute timer. Thanks, Elric. I'll be sure to let her know when her reading time is up. I appreciate all of you. I hope you enjoyed the stream today. Again, I plan to get back to regular streams sometime this weekend. I might not jump right back into Solasta. We might end up playing something else. I've really been wanting to play Wasteland 3. I need to go through Ghost of Tsushima or Outer Worlds. You know what? We might go ahead and do Outer Worlds in preparation for Outer Worlds 2. But regardless, hope all of you enjoy the stream, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Yep. Take care, Blizzard. Have a good one, Dapper. Bye, Jacob. You had enough of Solasta? Yeah, I think I'm over it. I really want to see Solasta 2. So we'll probably play Outer Worlds until the Solasta 2 demo is available. Or until Baldur's Gate 3 has a new patch. Yep. Appreciate you, Ulrich. Have a good one, man.